Good evening, folks. Cold as hell here in rural Saskatchewan tonight. In, well, the sub 40s, I guess. So I had a plan in mind where I was going to kind of do away with this unit. And I got 3 pieces cut to make Morse 3 tapered collets. So I don't know if this is going to work or not. But I got 3 pieces cut and ready to go. I'm not going to bother going through that whole spiel of setting up the compound and everything, because honestly it's pretty tedious, and it takes quite a while just to do that. So now that I can regain my sanity after that, I'm going to head over to the lathe and cut a few Morse tapers and hopefully turn one into a successful collet. That is a terrible finish. Wow, that's bad. Yeah, that's not very nice at all. Chips were breaking though. Yeah, that's not a very nice finish. That's very scratchy. Huh. Just can't get the hang of this tool sharpening. Okay, so I'm not really sure I'm doing this right. I'm just kind of checking to make sure it's straight. Or mostly straight. This indicator kind of, I think, has some play in it, to be honest. And it kind of bounces around some. Yeah, see. Of course, that finish is horrible. I tried to lick it up with the file a little bit. Figure as long as it's within a thou, it should be. Ugh, see, it's got wiggle in the end here, so it's not. It is not the greatest indicator. Let's just put it that way. Okay, well, we got at least a solid inch there, which is all I need. Okay, so I'm just going to check this again. I'll set this to 0, the compound. And that's on 0. So hopefully if it's still all set up good, it should hit the 25 there at 100 thou, or 1,000th. At an inch. Oh yeah, I already lost count. That was fast. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 100, 1,000. Well, we're a shade over. A thou over. Well, that's a bit much. And quite honestly, this thing frickin' see, barely even touch it and it does something else. So like I said, I tried to tune this thing in, and you really will lose your sanity if you get too fussy, because it's an old machine and it doesn't really cooperate very all that well. So I'll try to take out whatever slop I can in here. See, and it just, even the gib is unreliable, so it's kind of ballpark. Well, that's pretty much different now. See, I never even touched it, so I think we're just gonna leave it there. Christ, man, it's too infuriating. Alright, so like my last Morse taper, I'm gonna lock in the carriage right where it's at, and we'll do the feed with the cross slide, and the travel is going to be strictly limited to the compound as before. So we got to take this down to 778 thousandths, give or take. Like, this is a collet, and it's going to be drawn into the spindle, so it's going to have some semblance of flex to it once we get our cuts in there. we'll figure out how to do that later. On a Morse 3 tapered collet, there's something of a rise about midway of the shaft or whatever. I'd say probably about 10 thou. So we're at about 3 1/4. I don't know, I'm just going to go 1.7. Yeah, that's a nice round number. Put our mark right there. Alright. Alright. So we got to stop our taper when we hit that mark, because this has to be 10 thou higher than this part, but with the same amount of taper. So essentially we're going to take this down just a little bit more to about 775-ish, I don't know. Like I said, this is kind of experimental. Alright, here we go. Alright, that should be it for that little section. Not a terrible finish, should be easy to clean up. We'll give her a quick measurement just to make sure before I start moving shit around. Right on the end should be 775-ish. We're a little small, that's okay. Because it's actually more, 1/8 of an inch up is what I'm looking for. Yeah, we're just a smidge over. Perfect. And what I'm going to do is cut a little relief back here. Whoops. I have no size in particular. There. Alright, now we're ready to move the carriage up. Let me get set up again and I'll get right back to you. Alright, so I gave it a little more clearance in the back there. Hopefully That'll help with some of the chips getting bound up in there. And apparently I've learned from the last time, you got to extend this all the way out before you move the carriage, so you catch the back end here. Luckily, with this collets, these collets, you don't have to blend that in, because there's going to be a little step there. And what that is for, I'm assuming, is for when you draw it in, it has something to clamp onto that tool or work or whatever you got in there. So, okay, so we're going to start whittling some of this down here and take it from there. What I want is I want this to end up 10th out above that. So that should be relatively simple. Like the angle's all the same. You don't really have to touch anything. Not terrible. Hey, double check here. That's actually almost looking good right where it's at. 850. And try to get right above that step there. 885. So we could take another 10th thou off the overall diameter. So a quick 5 thou pass, and I think we'll be good. That's actually almost probably good right where it's at, I'm thinking. In the pictures, like all I've got to go off of is a picture in a book, so. So that's, you know, that looks about right actually, right there. I think I'm going to leave it right there, because by the time I polish it up and chamfer for the back end here and then clean that up there with the file and the sandpaper, and then we'll be able to flip it over and drill it out well, I guess 1/2 inch, because that's mostly all I got for now anyway. Just to go use that for a reference to see if it works. What I was planning on doing was locking. There's a pin back here that locks this in place, and I believe there's 90 holes in there. So if I went every 30 holes and then scribed it across here with the tool, that would be my mark, a nice perfectly straight mark for the the zip cut. Oh, let's give that a try, see how that works out. Let's try one mark. I'll just kind of tighten it up a little bit and force it through by hand. Keeping some pressure on it. Probably going to wreck the tool in the process, but that's okay. That's what grinders are for. Well, it appears to be leaving a mark there. Fuck yeah, that'll work. There's our grinder mark right there. Sweet. Alright, I'll get set up and be right back. Alright. I gotta tap this before I stick it in the spindle, obviously, for the drawbar. So, stop me if you heard this one. This prostitute walks into a bar, sits next to this bear. She looks at the bear, and the bear looks at her. The bear eats the prostitute. The bear's like, "Hey, bartender, can I have a drink to wash down this prostitute?" The bartender's like, "No, we don't serve bears on drugs." The bear's like, "What the hell are you talking about? I'm not on drugs." The bartender's like, "Well, what about that barbiturate?" Alright, so I believe we're all set up here. I actually had to take another 10 thou off the diameter so it would hook up to the jaw bar, but we should still be in good shape. So we're going to start drilling it out, drill out to 1/4 inch, and then bump it up to 1/2 inch, I guess. Alright. We're about about 780 RPM. I don't know, I'll make it a little fast. Only a quarter-inch bit. Shit. You know, I can foresee another problem. That's going to have to come back. Taking off. That's already too much stick out. More than I want. Alright, I had to get my parting tool. For the record, I really hate doing this, especially with the spindle all exposed and shit. But, I can't really part too good on this lathe. Or I guess this is the only lathe I've ever tried parting with, so. Do the old-fashioned way. Right above there. That should work just fine. Alright, well that was painful. That shit out of there, man. Ugh. I'm gonna face that off too. Alright, back to drilling hole. So this is going to have to be about a 2-inch deep hole, so I might just have to get back to you on that. Alright guys, there's our would-be collet. It's actually not too bad so far. Got that, got it drilled out to 1/2 inch, 2 inches deep. And it's like, you can feel that suction in there. I like that. You know, I can almost just put a set screw in that and that's good enough. That's pretty fucking good. Yeah. But we set out to make collets. So we got our lines all marked. What I'm going to do is I'm going to thread it on this bolt. And a nut on there too. I'm going to crank it down tight on this bolt. I'm going to use this. Use it, clamp it like that in the vise. Wherever I can get a good line in it on there. And then just hit it with the zip cut. Just by hand. So good luck with that. We'll see how that goes. I'm sure it'll be fine. Ugh. That's a motherfucker. Alright. Fuck did I tell you? Alright, that's the only one I'm doing on camera because you're in the way. Alright, moment of truth here. Oh, you son of a... Get the fuck out of the way. Yeah. Oh, this could fail. This could work. I don't know. Okay, so there's our high. 2 thou. That's not terrible. That's a lot better than my other one. I don't know how the end is going to look like here. If we can even check that. We can try. Look for the high spot. Should be around 2, yeah. 0, or just about 0. And, ooh, that's not great. 4 thou. That could be just in the flute though. This is a cheap freaking end mill. Like it's about as cheap as they come. Well, I guess we should well, everything still seems to be working. How's it gonna come out of there? Suppose that should be a matter of question too. Put it in. A little whack-a-do. Yeah, and I might even be able to improve upon that. I'm probably going to put a little bit of round stock in there. And I'll take this back some too yet, because we got a lot. We can go back. Well, what the hell? I don't know. I guess that's... Could have sworn I went in farther than that before. Yeah, it's stuck on a burr inside there, so I could actually take that down even more yet. So actually I lopped about a 1/4 inch off of there. Because they were too long. I want them as close to the spindle as possible. So I lopped it off with my parting tool, and and I'm just gonna stuff some cold rolled 1/2 inch in there, and I'm just gonna face it off and give it a little chamfer, and then and that should be it. Also trying a chip breaker. I don't know. I was busy trying to find the best way around that freaking bird's nest thing. It's just it's bad with this cold roll. Or so it would seem. Being careful not to hit the spindle. You know that's a big no-no in the machining world. It's a no-no in my world too, don't worry. Put in a little sanding stick. A little Scotch Brite. It's kitchen grade Scotch Brite. Yeah, we're pretty starving for fancy tools around this shop. But we seem to get her done. Alright. It's all the way to the back. We'll crank her down again here. Hopefully I didn't cut too much off. That would suck. I don't think so. You gotta pull her in quite a bit though to get her. Almost looks like it's not quite the same. Maybe that's why they make them 3 fluters. Probably. Alright, so upon inspection, I can see it's kind of hitting in the back here more than it is in the front. So what I think has got to happen is this has to come out more, you know what I mean? So I might have to stick that on a bolt or something again in the chuck and try to fan that out. See, that's why we're in testing phase here. But upon getting it sucked in there and everything, plus the 2 flutes that I fucked up on, you know, it'll probably do. But it's actually out of whack right now, and it's actually not overly rigid. I can feel that. Move that by hand almost. That's too bad. That was actually, I should have just left it the way it was. Maybe it's still a good fit. No, it's got a cut in there. Like, that's still got, like, you know, there's nothing there. But as soon as you suck it into the spindle, it's grabbing too much on the back end here. You know, you can see it where it's all chewed up in there. So I'm gonna have to I'm gonna clean out that fucking spindle bore too. So I guess take her back to formula. I guess we'll see if we can't feather that out some more. It probably wouldn't take much more than, you know, a couple of thou. I was kind of thinking that might be a problem, because when it squishes down, then it's going to be, nothing's going to be in contact up here. Oh well, we'll get her figured. Alright, so this is kind of a last ditch attempt to salvage this part. I don't even got anything that small to check it with. That might actually end up being too small now. But I gave it an extra 1/2 degree of taper in there. You know, just up to there. So hopefully it'll close in the spindle a little bit better. Just gonna clean it up and then we'll give her a test drive again. Alright folks, I think I'm gonna have to call this what it is, and that's a fail. It's still about, you know, it's actually out more than it was before, you know, according to this. But yeah, that's not great. I don't know if I can fix that up a little bit or not. And it's sucked in pretty far into the spindle now. So maybe I can just kind of, oops, probably should have moved that. Damn it. No wonder my indicator sucks. It's my fault. But like, you know, it's not fucking, feels good, but it's not good, I don't think. It looks like we're getting good contact on there now, though. It is a little bit cupped out more now. Probably just a 1/2 degree. Like that's yeah, it takes quite a bit to draw it in there too. Yeah, let's check it again. No, consistently for 4 or 5 thou. Well, let's fire it up, see what it looks like. Yeesh. Yeah, that's not good. Oh well, it was worth a try. I think it was just a little too late. So, I guess next one I'll have to do better. I already got one roughed out somewhere. So before I go drilling and boring this guy out, I'm going to do that. I'm probably going to make that a bit longer yet. And fan out that taper just a bit. Like, this one actually turned out much nicer than the other one did. Yeah, I'll have to fan that out just a hair. Hopefully there should be enough left on there. And if that one fails, well, we got another one right here, to another blank ready to go. So all centered and drilled. There might be another part to this, but if not, peace out.